Good morning from beautiful Ithaca, New York. My name is Romy Fain. I'm the founder and CEO of Heat Inverse. We make thin films that get cold without any additional energy input. I first came across the physics behind this technology during my PhD here at Cornell University, but I'm actually from the San Francisco Bay Area originally, where I was a prototyping and manufacturing entrepreneur for over a decade, and I also
I think we're having a few technical difficulties. Appreciate everyone bearing with us here as we get that keyed up again.
Good morning from beautiful Ithaca, New York. My name is Romy Fain. I'm the founder and CEO of Heat Inverse. We make thin films that get cold without any additional energy input. I first came across the physics behind this technology during my PhD here at Cornell University, but I'm actually from the San Francisco Bay Area originally, where I was a prototyping and manufacturing entrepreneur for over a decade, and I also did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering at UC Berkeley. Now at Heat Inverse, we're making these thin films that are very real world, practical, durable, scalable materials that are photonic hyperemitters designed to dissipate heat more effectively. You can kind of think of this like air conditioning in a thin film. Now, as you can imagine, there's a lot of applications for a technology like this, but especially in transportation with refrigerated trailers. Our mission is to revolutionize cooling technologies and profitably reduce greenhouse gas emissions by more than a gigaton at full deployment. Because the problem is heat-related inefficiencies cost trillions of dollars and gigatons of CO2 equivalent emissions every year. In the United States, we spend more than $6 billion just on fuel for refrigeration and transit. And this means more than 29 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent emissions every year. At Heat Inverse, we make thin films that cool refrigerated trailers. We provide about 5 kilowatts of passive cooling, which is about 25 to 80% of the cooling capacity that's actually needed for cooling these trailers. And we're pricing the materials based on a 1-year return on investment in an industry that typically adopts new technologies that provide a couple of percent points of efficiency increase with 1 to 4 years ROI expected. This is what our pipeline looks like so far. We actually have a lot more companies in the refrigerated trucking pipeline, and working on starting pilots with a couple of companies in the area, GNC Foods and Wegmans, but also looking at the energy industry and battery energy storage systems and substations and roofing systems for electric vehicles. And that's why we're at this point, we're looking for corporate partners to share in distribution channels, but also potentially for manufacturing partnerships. And the team we put together is really stellar. We have depth on both the technical and the business side. And at full deployment, Heat Inverse will save hundreds of billions of dollars and more than a gigaton of CO2 equivalent emissions every year globally.